Hey there, welcome to Ancestral Recall. This is your host, Eli Kaplan. This is a web series that explores and illuminates 20 years of the history of Magic the Gathering. I've got a very tight schedule this week and next week, so I'm going to keep this very short and sweet. This is the top 10 discard spells of all time. Discard spells, the kings of grief, the nathering nabobs of negativity. Blue may say no one spell at a time, but black just shouts no over and over again, so you can't play anything ever. And today's the day when these spells get their due. Why a top 10? Because I don't feel like ripping off the Nostalgia Critic today. So, Eli, how did you make this list? Okay, the list is biased towards constructed, but does not merely use vintage format as the benchmark. If a spell made a huge impact in Legacy, Standard, Extended, or Modern, that also can get it on the list. And since I'm a teacher, I'm going to tell you now, extracurriculars count. Doing awesome things besides discarding that also happens to be strong discard gets extra points. I'm not a purist. So, let's get started. Number 10. Persecute. For 4 mana, you get to take out every card of a named color in that player's hand. This was utterly broken against monocolored decks, obviously. Why is such a powerful spell so low on the list? Well, it costs 4 mana, and that's the highest fixed mana cost spell on this list. This card needs to hit the opponent fast and hard before they can set up their game plan. Number 9. Gerrard's Verdict. Hitting 2 cards for just 1 with only 2 mana is an awesome deal. The fact that you gain life when they discard the lame cards, lands, makes it even better. But wise opponents will accept that you're going to gain some life and probably stick to their original game plan. Number 8. Liliana of the Veil. This classy lady may be symmetrical in her discard, but she causes untold despair among mages that hope to keep spells in their hand. Counter magic is a major liability against Liliana, and if opponents try to attack her, well, she can take a turn off from the mind wiping and make them sacrifice a creature. At $70, this is the most expensive card on this list, but I can say that price is well justified. She's playable in a large number of formats. Number 7. Cabal Therapy. If you know what you're doing, this card gets huge advantage. Gitaxian Probe works perfectly, even in mono-black decks, to get the laydown to inflict massive damage. But the real trick of Therapy is pitching a creature so you can reanimate it soon after. The versatility gets this nod. Number 6. Duress. Duress has always been excellent in any format that isn't completely dominated by creatures. Even the black creature decks run it, so they can protect their investments. It's nice that Duress has always been able to hit planeswalkers as well, even without errata. Number 5. Hypnotic Specter. Booyah! Surprise this guy's on here? This creature was on the restricted list at one point. Slamming this guy down on turn 1 with Dark Ritual demanded that opponents have an answer right there, right now, or they'd be taking some horrific random discards while taking 2 damage per turn to boot. Without this Nazgul, this list, not cool. This spot on the list is also a testament to the power of Dark Ritual. Number 4. Thoughtseize. No restrictions, no questions asked. Sure, Thoughtseize costs 2 life, but the price is always worth it. You get perfect information and always get the best spell in their hand. I prefer the Lorwyn art. Number 3. Mind Twist. Seriously, I have no idea why they kept this brutalizing sorcery in 4th edition. In my mind, this is the second biggest mistake in Magic ever. The random discard element just made it utterly unfair. This is the most violating of the spells on this list. Fast mana like Moxen, Dark Ritual, and Soul Ring just turn this into a backbreaker. And yet, it's only number 3. Number 2. Hymn to Tourach. Bar none, this is the most powerful spell in all of Fallen Empires. This spell beats Mind Twist because of its pure efficiency. Mind Twist costs 1 more to function at the same level. Now, Eternal formats can be so fast that 3 mana to get 2 random discards just isn't enough. And so that's why him gets the number 2 spot. By the way, 4 arts for the price of 1 spot. And the number 1 discard spell of all time is Balance. Surprised? This card is, in my opinion, the most unfair sorcery of all time. It has a Wrath of God element, an Armageddon element, and yeah, a Mind Twist element. And it's so hard to be prepared for this spell unless you're very, very fast. And yes, I do think that reprinting Balance in 4th edition was the biggest mistake Wizards has ever made. Except for possibly the reserved list. Balance made whatever your opponent was doing an utterly pointless waste of time, and if they weren't doing anything, so long hand. Yes, you do have to work your deck so as to make maximum advantage of Balance, sure, but the spell does so many broken things that it has to take the top spot on this list. Thanks for watching! I hope you guys like this different format. And if there are any discard spells I missed on this list, well, go ahead and sound off in the comments. Please be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe. We'll be back to old sets in 2 weeks. If you haven't seen any of my classic set reviews, go look at my other videos. I think you're gonna enjoy them. So, that's it for Ancestral Recall this week. This is Eli Kaplan signing off. Good games, and good luck.